One more word from FanDuel here. NBA season is red hot, and you can get buckets with your first bet on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 if their bet wins. You can bet on all your favorite NBA players and teams with quick bets, live same-game parlays, exclusive props, and much, much more. Just visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to shoot your shot. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. We'll do this one quickly, guys, because we have 2 topics to get to, and we got a bunch of super chats. So real quick, 5 minutes. The Ohio State Buckeyes lost Bill O'Brien to Boston College, replaced him with Chip Kelly as their new offensive coordinator. How do you think the fit between Chip Kelly, all the talent in Columbus, and Ryan Day will go for the Buckeyes in 2024?
Wow. This move
came out of the blue.
We were in the gym Friday when it happened.
On Friday, came out of the blue, yeah.
I was literally like, what the hell's going on in college football right now? What happened in just Ohio State's example, you had a coordinator leave for a very mid Division I job.
Yes. Yeah.
Very mid division. He was at a top 5, perennial top 5 team as the offensive coordinator, and then suddenly leaves to become a head coach of a school that...
For a school whose head coach left to become a coordinator in the NFL.
Exactly. And then you have, which is unprecedented, I asked around on Friday and Saturday, I looked it up. If it's happened, I can't find an example. You had a head coach who has extensive experience at both the NFL and collegiate level leave. Now, I'm not going to call UCLA a blue blood program, but they're a very decorated program. He left the head coaching job to become an OC at Ohio State.
And you were already playing Ohio State. You're in the conference. You're in the Big Ten.
I still can't get my mind around this.
I love it.
Listen, I love it. Ohio State got a lot better. I loved the timing of the news. Earlier in the day, Michigan announced Wink Martindale is leaving the NFL to go to become a DC in college football. And within hours, we see your Wink Martindale, and we raise him a Chip Kelly.
You know what that tells me? That tells me the money is getting too good. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of cash being infused in college football. And it also shows me that now it's an arms race. We told you now you're going to be, if you're UCLA, you got to compete with USC. And nowadays with the one and dones and guys moving around, you got to recruit year round. It is not a coincidence that Nick Saban was like, I ain't doing this no more.
No, you're right.
Because it don't matter if you get a top 10 recruiting class. Back then, you get a top 10 recruiting class, you could just stockpile people and no one could go nowhere. Now you can waste a budget, give him an NIL deal, and he'll be on the next thing smoking in Tennessee. And you're like, Tennessee's trash. They're like, well, they gave me this amount of money, and it is what it is. I think these coaches, these head coaches, don't want the headache. They just want to go I'll go insulate myself as a coordinator.
And make good money.
And make good money and not have to deal with it.
That's a great point, and I think the thing that's really driving coaches crazy, and they're going to have to find an answer to it, or they're going to lose a lot of really good coaches. You're not just recruiting the class of 2024 right now. Mm-hmm. You're going to recruit them again next year, same kids.
Same persons.
And then you're going to recruit them the following year because the transfer portal is a real thing. It is having a bigger impact on college football's hierarchy than anyone thought, and it is going to drive coaches that are financially secure and their legacy is set, like Nick Saban. And there's not many of those guys, by the way. But it's going to drive those coaches directly into retirement. Because one of the I'll read one comment that I thought was fascinating as I was asking around experts that have covered this thing for 30 years. One comment was very interesting, and here's what it said. College football is becoming more like the NFL, but instead of 32 teams, there's going to be 50. There's going to be 2 power conferences in the not too distant future, the Big Ten and the SEC. Yes, we've gone to 12 teams for the playoffs, but winning is going to be more difficult in college football than ever before. you'll see a lot of coaches leave the profession or go to the NFL as a coordinator instead of moving jobs internally in college football. And I don't think that that's very far off the mark. It's because look at it. We're already pretty much there. If you're not in the Big Ten or the SEC, do you really have a chance?
No.
Pac-12, battle of attrition, they're gone. The Big 12, really? I mean, the good teams have left to the SEC. And the ACC, they had a team that was undefeated and didn't get one of 4 dance tickets. So it's as if it wasn't already the Big Ten versus the SEC. Now the cat's out of the bag. They've said the quiet part out loud, and everybody is scurrying to get into one of the two. The NCAA is going to have to be faced with a really, really big decision. It's coming within the next 3 to 5 years. They're going to have tiers of Division I college football. So the MACs and the WACs and these smaller conferences that really have never had a chance to win anyhow, why are they in Division I? They're going to be a secondary tier of college football. And look, that'll be a celebrated playoff champion. And I'm not calling it like Division 1A. These are Division I schools, but they're not Power 5 schools, which is really turning into Power 2 schools.
Yeah.
You'll have 30 in the Big Ten. You'll have 30 in the SEC. And some of the teams that are currently in the Big Ten, Northwestern, bye-bye. You serve no role anymore other than bringing the Chicago market to the Big Ten network. Other than that, you have nothing to offer.
And if they were smart, how they would do it, I asked Gene Smith the same thing. Listen, either you get with it now or you take the L later. If you want to make it viable for more teams to compete, you get your Congress together, you get your senators and your governors, and you all sit around in Alabama or Ohio State or Florida, and you say, listen, here's the going rate that we're willing to pay a college athlete per year. We're going to give them $75,000. We'll give them $100,000.
Put a cap to it.
We'll put a cap to it. We'll standardize the contract, and then what we'll do is we'll sign those negotiations. And here's the thing. They can renegotiate and ante up for a re-signing bonus. Hey, if you got $100,000 last year, we'll give you $150,000 if you stick around because you're worth that to our organization.
So kind of like an NBA team can offer a player more than another team.
Yes, and you have your bird rights. If you want to make a certain amount of money, you got to stay put here, right? Like, hey, you were here, you can't get $300,000. You ain't been here that long enough. Now, you can go wherever you want to. But the way to do it is standardize it so that now when you go to a school, you ain't even getting poaching. It's just like you know what you're going to get paid.
Yeah. Now, some will say that's anti-American because capitalism is let the market bear out what the pay scale is. But if you think about it, the NFL isn't that way. There's a salary cap in the NFL. We've put a limit on how much people can make.
And that ain't got nothing to do with the NIL.
No, totally different.
Gatorade can give you an endorsement, and that's just part of what you negotiate. Now, but that's for the regular kid. So if I'm the regular kid and I'm a backup rotating defensive tackle, and I'm at Ohio State, yes, I could go over down to Florida, but I could go down there, and now I'm only making $100,000. I might not even get an opportunity to play, and I can stay up here and make more money and do what I need to do and still get another signing bonus money. See, there's always levels to it. There's ambition. There's people that was in MAC schools that thought they wanted to go to the league. There's people that think they're better than where they were supposed to be at. Some people just want their education. Some people just want to go party. Like, it's all kind of levels of people in your team.
Would you be okay with this? Each team you can give one max deal, whatever that is, $2 million a year. Mm-hmm. You can give 2 second-tier max, $1 million a year. Mm-hmm. And you can give 3 third-year deal, $750,000 a year. That would keep anybody from going Operation Stockpile with some wealthy donor just writing $10 million checks left and right. And at least there's some salary cap, some structure, and that will ensue the integrity of competition.
And regular guys get you $100,000 or whatever you're gonna give them just
set those pay scales.
And if they were smart, they would do it, and people would accept it because, to be truthful, everybody ain't getting NIL deals.
No, they're not.
Everybody ain't getting.
And that's the free and open market is the NIL deal.
Right.
Here's the thing: if a player like Johnny Manziel comes from the weeds and doesn't get anything upon signing, but wins the Heisman, he's going to make that money up in his Heisman commercials and everything else that he's going to get.
Yeah, they should get together and do it. It'd be smart. But if they let it go, true capitalism, y'all gonna be in trouble. You're gonna have people transferring every 5 minutes.
And that's going to be tough.
It is.